listeners, welcome back. It's your favorite author, Lisa Walker McCray, bringing you another fascinating story time from the pages of my novel, A Peculiar Kind of Love. Remember, you guys, this video is for entertainment purposes only. First of all, big ups to the Most High Yah, and much love to those that are still chiming in. With that being said, let's put this thing in motion and get those imaginations soaring, eh? Yeah, Drulin, set the stage. Okay, quick recap here, listeners. In our last reading, Jay was a little bothered by Lorraine. Lorraine is Chantel's mother. She out of nowhere calls him. Now, we don't know what the conversation was about, but by the sounds of it, it looks as though she wants to have a relationship with Gabe. Now, we left Jay in deep thought after Ma Tate and Drew tried to reason with him, so we really don't know where they're going with that. But we're going to back it up a little bit because if y'all remember, Marcus promised Drew a date night, and we didn't get involved in that, so we need to handle that right now and see how that went. Now, this night held more promise than Drew could ever imagine. It's later on that evening, after Jay's meltdown, and Drew is gracefully allowing the wind to kiss her face and the music to soothe her soul as she and Marcus set out to enjoy their date night. Aw, look at our girl. Now, usually she'd be all involved with Jay, completely blowing Marcus off. But time brings about a change in maturity, huh? Anyways, Drew was excited. She loved when Marcus planned their nights out. He always made them fun and mysterious. Drew figured they'd end up on some adventure or casual restaurant, but it didn't matter as long as she was with Marcus. Checking out her image in the passenger side mirror, Drew adored the sundress Dean hooked her up with. She hoped Marcus would like it as well. Drew had to give Dean her flowers. She really did her thing with a purple-infused violet all-purpose dress with shoes to match. She'd been a lifesaver. The date was last minute, but Dean was right on time. She always kept Drew in the hottest streams. Not only that, but her and Drew had become really good friends. Dean was a listener, and Drew could always count on her for the best advice when going in the Saddle Girls for a therapy run. Although Dean was a little younger than Drew, she appreciated all the wisdom given. Marcus smiled when noticing Drew had slipped into a world of her own. He asked, "Are you good over there?" "I'm awesome," Drew assured, caressing Marcus's beard. He smiled bashfully. Taking Drew's hand, he placed a kiss upon it, assuring the night would only get better. Drew trusted with a smile. Then she gasped when hearing the vocals of Keisha Cole's "I Remember" coming from the speakers. She turned the volume up, closed her eyes, tilted her head back, and loudly sung along. Marcus accepted the lyrics. They fit their journey perfectly. Drew was singing her heart out. Marcus chuckled, shaking his head. She was so involved, Drew didn't notice the car had stopped. Marcus didn't interrupt. He allowed Drew to finish her performance while he enjoyed the entertainment. The song ended. Marcus applauded. Drew thanked her audience of one, blowing Marcus kisses as if she'd been performing for a crowd. Finally noticing the car had stopped, Drew looked around to see what her night had in store. Her mouth dropped when noticing they were parked in front of the old Cooper house. Y'all remember the old Victorian house Drew adored? The one she saw like 2 months ago being renovated? Well, yes, that's where they were, and Drew wondered why they were there. Had they turned the place into a restaurant, Drew thought to herself? Looking over at Marcus, she asked, "What are we doing here?" Gazing at the home, Drew always imagined herself in a place like this, with character and sophistication. The workers had done an immaculate job restoring the old house. The design and details were breathtaking. Drew gracefully admired the antique white paint that glowed in the moonlight, while the front porch held the place with comfort, like a mother sheltering her child. Solar lights illuminated the driveway and sidewalk, leading to French doors that held the old home soul. "I love this place," Drew whispered. Marcus smiled because Drew smiled. The excitement on her face warmed his heart. Y'all see, Marcus had been planning this night for a while, and now that him and Drew were on the same page, it was time for him to bring it to light, baby. Marcus escorted Drew up the sidewalk lined with assorted flowers and hedges. Picking one of the roses, Drew voiced how beautiful the landscaping was. The French doors were open. Stepping inside the home was something out of Southern Living magazine. Hands over heart, Drew could have fainted, taking in the beauty of the traditional staircase. She'd gotten a glimpse of them before, but it was nothing like seeing them up close. Gliding her hands over the stairs, the mahogany wood was smooth and restored perfectly. Drew couldn't focus on one detail without noticing another one. The home was breathtaking. The modern upgrades complemented the original essence of the home. Only giving Drew a moment to indulge in the home's beauty, Marcus led her across the original wood floors to the French doors leading to the backyard. "Oh my goodness," Drew uttered when Marcus opened the doors. Her eyes lit up like the stars in the sky when feasting them upon the secret garden designed for a queen's palace. "Wow, Marcus, this is beautiful," Drew greeted his smile with a smile. Noticing the change in lights in the pool, Drew ran over to enjoy the show. Marcus stood back watching in silence as Drew ran her hands across the water. The smile on her face had him floating, and Marcus didn't want to come down. "Did you do all this?" Drew asked, noticing a picnic set up on the pool house lawn. Marcus confirmed with a smile and nod of his head. Drew was impressed. She'd never had an outside picnic before, especially one entertained by the moonlight. The thoughts Marcus had put into the night impressed Drew. Yes, darlings, she was impressed. But y'all know our girls still had questions. "Marcus, all of this is amazing, but whose house is this?" she asked. "Does all that matter? Just calm down and enjoy yourself, Julie McCain." Marcus rubbed the small of her back. Drew loved when he touched her there. It always sent chills to parts of her body that had never been explored. Marcus kissed Drew's cheek. Taking her hand, he walked her over to the picnic setup where he had all kinds of treats. Drew looked around. She could hear the Isley brothers coming from the trees. "What?" she uttered. She'd never heard of anyone putting speakers in trees. It felt as like she was at an outdoor concert or something. "Did you do that?" Marcus smiled. "Oh, Marcus is so modest." Anyway, the night went on and the pair enjoyed each other's company. There was a moment Drew thought about Jay and how he must be feeling about the whole Lorraine situation, but she couldn't allow her thoughts about Jay to intrude in on her intimacy with Marcus. There you go, girl. Yes, put that man first. You getting it, Drew? Meanwhile, the summer breeze brought peace as Marcus held Drew. They both watched the 4th of July entertainment presented by the night skies, listening to the music pushed out from the trees. "I love you, Julie McCain," Marcus whispered. Drew smiled. He told her that 1,000,000 times before, but Drew never said it back. Obviously, Drew loved Marcus, but she was one to never be careless with those words. Marcus understood Drew still held part of herself from him, but didn't make a deal of it. He knew there was a time and place for everything. "Hey!" Drew yelled out. The sounds of the OJs pulled her from the blanket where she proceeded to have a solo dance with self. Marcus laughed out, admiring how Drew allowed the music to take her to a place that had no limits. That's my song, Drew yelled out, snapping her fingers, grooving as if she had someone in her space enjoying the moment with her. The melody of the song had her feeling some type of way. Marcus became anxious, watching her sway back and forth, side to side. He got up from the blanket and joined in, cuffing Drew in his arms, kissing her gently. The pair allowed the music to narrate their endless romance. Marcus could live in that moment forever. His love for Drew burned deep within his soul. Spinning Drew around, the magic in her smile boosted Marcus's energy levels to the unknown. He could spin her all night. Drew gazed into Marcus's eyes, pulling out all his hidden affections. The moment of passion they were now sharing was stored in their heart's memory that would last a lifetime. Drew was having the time of her life, but she still questioned whose house that was. "So you're gonna tell me whose house this is?" she asked. "It's yours." Marcus slid a ring on Drew's finger. "Julie McCain, I've loved you for a long time, and I want to keep loving you for the rest of my life." Drew was psyched. She couldn't believe what was taking place. "Marcus," she whispered softly. Marcus continued expressing his love for Drew, proclaiming her love is all he wanted, to be his wife, to share his life. He then cuffed Drew, holding her stare. Drew was overjoyed and hesitant. She tried to speak. "Marcus, Drew, I asked you a question." Marcus awaited an answer. Drew looked at Marcus. How could she say no? He displayed his love for her like no other. Oh my, love came unexpectedly and fast for these two. What a beautiful proposal by Marcus. Now the question is, will Drew accept or decline? Inquiring minds wants to know. And to find out, y'all know what it is. You gotta meet me back over here for the next story time. See how things go with these two. I mean, they're really heating up, right? So, for those that are involved, stay tuned, stay chimed in. You'll be amazed at what the answer will be. Until then, register this. Forgive yourself for the things you got wrong in life, and give yourself grace for the mistakes you've made. Y'all bless this reading in yourselves. Smooches.